For anyone that doesn't remember, there was a fight that broke out between Antonio Brown and a few people that he claimed tried to rob him at Adin Ross's brand risk boxing event back in May 16th of this year, which ended with him chasing them off and allegedly firing shots at them. As soon as the police arrived, they cuffed him, and it seemed like he was going to get in some trouble, but they later released him without charges, which Antonio Brown commented on Twitter by saying, regarding the boxing event that happened last night, I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some videos circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested. I will be talking to my legal counsel and attorneys on pressing charges on the individuals that jumped me. I will keep you all posted step by step on the process. Thank you for the support and love. And for those of us that were watching in real time, we know that he didn't end up getting arrested because he did jump on Adin Ross's stream afterwards and hang out for a while.
You can't take him down! Yeah. You can't take down AB! I can smile now, man! You can't take down AB!
I'm scared for you, brother.
God is great.
God is great. Alhamdulillah.
But apparently there's now a warrant out for his arrest for attempted murder with a firearm, as well as instructions to post a $10,000 bond and remain on house arrest until trial. And I assume we're all smart enough to realize that attempted murder charge is obviously extremely serious, but it does change depending on the state that you're in. And we can assume he's not going to get a first-degree attempted murder charge because of the fact that it wasn't premeditated. It was an altercation that happened, which led to him chasing them off and allegedly shooting at them. But a second-degree murder charge is a possibility, and it says that it applies when the attempt was not premeditated and the defendant's actions, while dangerous and reckless, were not intentionally aimed at causing death. Penalties include up to 15 years in prison, probation, or a fine up to $10,000. The state must prove the defendant intentionally committed an act that was dangerous and could cause death, but the victim was not killed. However, he might be looking at even more potential time because Florida does have a special law called the 1020 to life law, and it's a state law that mandates minimum prison sentences for certain crimes involving firearms. Specifically, it requires a 10-year minimum sentence for producing a firearm during the commission of a felony, a 20-year minimum sentence for firing a firearm during a felony, and a minimum sentence of 25 years to life in prison for shooting someone during a felony. So obviously I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know exactly how all of this would fit together, but it doesn't look very good from the outside looking in. But at the same time, it depends on what they can prove. And it also depends on how good of a lawyer that you have, which Adin Ross heard about this on stream and immediately called his lawyer to try to back up AB.
Neon, look at their spamming. Is that true?
What?
About this person?
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's all over Twitter. All over. All my life. It's like real. I swear. You're good, though.
No, bro. Where's my phone? I gotta text my lawyer. I'm dead serious. I'm not, you're laughing. I'm dead ass.
I'll take over the legacy.
No, I'm not going to jail. I got good lawyers.
I'm saying you're good.
I wire my 100K every Hanukkah. I don't give
Every Hanukkah.
I'm not joking. I swear. For the past 3 years, every Hanukkah. 100 bands. He wakes up, he's like, yo, Aiden, love you, bro. Happy Hanukkah.
And as we've seen over the years, if you have a really good lawyer, it does go a long way, but it's really just going to depend on what you did and what evidence there is that you may have done it. Now, in his situation, the only thing we see from that clip is that gunshots went off, but we don't actually see what happened. So I think one of the most important things going forward is, are there any witnesses? Because nobody's seen what actually happened besides the people that might have been right there. Because when he runs in that direction, it looks like there's people that are right there in the vicinity. And if they can talk to some of those people, it's going to depend on what they say. Now, if they say that they also saw him fire at the people and he just missed, it's not looking all that good because they were running away. Even if they did try to rob him, the fact that the altercation had ended and they had their backs to him and they were leaving and they were no longer a threat, I'm pretty sure he's not going to get away with that. So I'm hoping that that's not the case just for his sake. But if they do say that they saw him firing warning shots, which I don't think is necessarily legal, but I think that there's some context around it, he's going to be in a way better position. From everything I can see looking online, it seems like it depends on if it's considered self-defense, because it says in Florida, firing a warning shot in self-defense is not a felony if the individual reasonably believes that they are in imminent danger and the warning shot is used to deter an attack. Now, on paper, that looks good, but when you think about the fact that they were running away from him with their backs turned to him, it doesn't really constitute self-defense for him to fire warning shots. And in that case, it's not looking like the greatest situation, because I found a case back in 2010 where a woman fired warning shots at her estranged husband because she felt like she was being threatened. She lost that case. And because of that law we just read, the 10-20 to life law, she got 20 years in prison. Now, she did get an appeal, and I don't believe that they figured out what's happening with it yet. And the reason why she did was because they felt like the jury wasn't explained what self-defense was. Now, in this situation, I'm assuming that usually they don't forget to tell you this is what constitutes self-defense, and it's pretty clear cut that if they're running away with their back to you, you can't really argue self-defense. So I don't know how this is going to play out. It would really kind of be crazy to see that he ends up getting 10, 20 years in prison, but I wouldn't be all that surprised just looking at the facts and everything that I have in front of me. So I'm wishing him the best. I don't want to see that happen, but at the same time, you got to be careful with these laws, man. Like, some of these states do not play around. So I just wanted to cover that because I saw it. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will catch you in the next one, homies.